Just before we begin, a little something for the grown-ups. We've launched the Zeepy Sleep Club, a cozy new place to enjoy all our episodes ad-free, with no intros, just gentle stories from start to finish, and extra long endings that fade into dreamy, ambient sleep sounds to help your little one nod off to sleep. You'll also get extra dreamy sleep soundscapes and wind-down music, perfect for helping little ones prepare for bed and drift off peacefully. And for a limited time, it's just £3 or $3 a month. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can subscribe directly in the app with a 3-day free trial. If you're listening anywhere else, you'll find the link in the show notes. Alright, let's begin. Hello dear friends, and welcome to the Zeepy Sleep Podcast. Tonight's story is called Kip's Pocketfulls of Everything. This story is made for winding down, that quiet time before bed, when the day slows and the world grows gentle again. When your Zeepy clock glows purple, it's time to begin letting the day go. In this soft adventure, Kip the kitty comes home to the Moonbeam Cat Café with pockets heavy and full. She's carried so many treasures from her day that climbing the stairs feels harder than usual. With help from a wise old teacup, Kip discovers she can love her day and let it rest, placing each treasure somewhere safe, so her pockets feel light and her heart feels ready for sleep. This story helps children notice when they feel tired or full, practice gratitude for what happened, and understand that memories stay with us even when we set them down. It gently shows us that letting go makes space for rest. Before we begin, a note for grown-ups. If these stories are part of your routine, you can follow or subscribe, so they're always ready when night falls. A quiet rating or review helps us share these gentle stories with more families. Thank you for being here. Now let's settle in together. A cozy blanket, a deep breath, and a story to end the day. Evening arrives at the Moonbeam Cat Café like a soft blanket falling. The last stripe of sunlight slips beneath the curtains, and the lamps inside begin to glow warm and golden. Outside, the sky turns from peach to lavender to deep blue. Inside the cafe, everything begins to settle. A sleepy hedgehog cups both its paws around a mug of chamomile tea. 2 rabbits in the corner share the last piece of honey cake. Near the window, a little moth drifts in slow circles around the lamplight. The whole room smells of cinnamon, baked apples, and comfort. And through the open door steps Kip. Her whiskers twitch. Her paws pause on the threshold. She is home. But tonight, something feels different. Kip's apron pockets, usually light and cheerful, bulge at her sides. They sag and pull at the ties around her waist. She can feel the shapes tucked inside them. A blue button, 3 smooth pebbles, a folded piece of birch bark, and more than a few biscuit crumbs nestled in every corner. She loved her day. Every small moment had felt like treasure, so she tucked each one away to keep. Kip crosses the cafe quietly. A few of the evening guests smile and nod as she passes. The hedgehog lifts his mug in a tiny hello. One rabbit gives a sleepy wave. Everything is gentle. Everything is warm. but Kip's steps are slower than usual. At last she reaches the stairs that lead to her cosy sleeping nook. The wooden steps curve upward in a gentle spiral, polished smooth from many paws and many nights. Kip places one paw on the first step, then the second, then the third, and now each step feels heavier than the last. Her pockets tug, her breath comes a little shorter. Her legs, which carried her through the garden and up to the hilltop today, now feel full of soft tiredness. Halfway up the stairs, Kip stops. One paw rests on the railing. The other presses lightly against her apron. She can feel the shapes inside. Round, smooth, folded, familiar.
I did love my day,
Kip thinks softly.
but now my pockets feel so heavy.
She loved every moment of her day, but now they feel almost too much to carry. Kip lets out a tiny, tired breath. Heavy pockets tonight, little one. The voice floats toward her like steam rising from tea. Warm, unhurried, kind. Kip looks up. On the nearby shelf, among rows of dishes and well-loved cups, sits an old teacup. It has a curled handle and a faded rose painted on its side. It has been here as long as Kip can remember, and though it rarely speaks, when it does, its words always feel true. Kip nods. She pats one of her pockets, and something inside goes clink. The teacup's eyes soften. You gathered many lovely things today. Kip nods again. Her ears droop just a little.
I wanted to save them.
She whispers. Of course, says the teacup. Some days are like that. Kip looks down at her apron.
But now they're so heavy.
The teacup is quiet for a moment, as if letting her words settle. Then it says, very gently, sometimes treasures need a soft place to rest. Kip blinks.
Rest?
The teacup gives the smallest nod. Kip thinks about that. Her paw presses lightly against the shapes in her pocket. The button, the pebbles, the folded bark, the crumbs.
If I set them down,
she asks softly,
will they still be mine?
Aye, lass, says the teacup. You don't have to carry every piece of it to keep it. Kip's ears lift a little, and with the smallest tilt, the teacup gestures toward the far wall, where moonlight touches a small wooden drawer. The memory drawer. Kip has seen it before, of course, but she's never opened it. Now bathed in silver light, it seems to glow like a welcoming friend. She climbs back down the stairs and crosses the room. Her pockets jingle and shift with every step. When she reaches the drawer, she kneels beside it, her tail curling softly around her side. The wood is smooth and warm. Kip opens the drawer. Inside, the cedar wood smells faintly sweet and calm. The space is simple and quiet, but it feels safe. Kip takes a breath. Then, one by one, she reaches into her pockets. First comes the blue button. It's small and round, with 4 tiny holes stitched through the centre. She found it this morning near the garden gate, half buried in the dirt. A visitor had smiled at her when she picked it up, a grandmother with kind eyes and flour on her apron. Kip holds the button up to the lamplight. It shimmers soft as sky. She remembers the grandmother's smile.
This button made me smile.
Kip thinks.
Thank you.
She whispers, and she places it gently into the memory drawer. Next, the 3 pebbles. Cool and smooth, each one perfectly palm-sized. One from the patch near the rose bush, one from the stepping stones by the fountain, one from the hilltop, where she watched the clouds drift past like lazy whales. Kip holds them all together in her paw and closes her eyes.
Rosebush morning,
she whispers to the first.
I felt happy here. Fountain stones.
To the second.
This made me peaceful. Hilltop clouds.
To the third.
This felt like a hug.
Then she sets them down beside the button. Then comes the folded wish. It's written on a piece of birch bark, thin as paper and curled at the edges. A little sparrow had given it to her at noon, tucked beneath the bench. Kip never opened it. The hope it held was enough. She remembers the fluttery feeling in her chest when she held onto it and wondered what lovely thing might be wished for inside. She runs one paw lightly along the fold. Then she whispers,
Thank you for the hope.
Into the drawer it goes, light as a leaf. And finally, the crumbs. Biscuit crumbs, honey cake crumbs, a few stray oat flakes from breakfast. Kip giggles softly. She hadn't meant to keep these. They just stayed.
Thank you for being delicious,
she says softly. From the shelf behind her, the teacup gives a soft, pleased hum. Kip crosses to the window, opens it just a crack, and scatters the crumbs into the evening air. Outside, a night bird sings softly in thanks. Kip turns her pockets inside out. They hang loose and floppy now, soft cotton fluttering in the lamplight. Empty. Kip lets out a long, gentle breath. Maybe you'd like to try too. She doesn't feel empty. She feels lighter, softer, like a cloud after rain. Kip sits back on her heels, her paws resting lightly on the edge of the memory drawer. Moonlight shines across the wood, and the drawer seems to hum with warmth, a quiet promise. Your treasures are safe. They will rest here, and so can you. Behind her, the teacup rests peacefully in the lamplight. Kip closes the drawer gently. She realizes something, sitting there in the stillness. The treasures are still hers. The moment still happened. The smiles and shadows and sunshine are still real. She can always remember happy things in her heart, even when her paws are empty. But they no longer pull at her. They no longer weigh her down. The day is loved, and the day is released. Her pockets are empty, and her heart is full in a different, quieter way. With her pockets soft and light, Kip knows she is ready to climb once more. She stands, stretching her paws high above her head. Her shoulders feel loose. Her legs feel light. She pads back to the staircase and climbs. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and this time it feels like floating. She reaches the top and slips into her cozy nook. The blankets are soft and folded just right. The pillow is small and stitched with stars. She circles once, then curls into a snug little ball, her tail wrapping around her nose. Outside, the stars blink awake, one by one. Inside, the cafe hums with the sound of evening settling. Quiet voices, gentle clinking, the soft crackle of the fire. Kip whispers softly,
Good night, memory drawer. Good night, teacup. Good night, Moonbeam Café.
and from the shelf below, the teacup's voice drifts up one last time, soft as steam. When the day rests, we can rest too. Kip's whiskers twitch in a sleepy smile. Her pockets are empty. Her heart is warm. And tomorrow, her pockets will be ready for new wonders. But tonight, she rests. Your pockets are empty. Your heart is full. And you are safe, ready for tomorrow's wonders. You are safe. You are loved.